What's up there, guys? It's your boy, and I'm back. And all jokes aside, bro, like I said, I'm gonna stop that. I want to go over something real quick. I do wish that I had a nice amount of subscribers so that they would tune in and watch this, because I know for a fact people will look at this and they will 100% empathize and understand. I know exactly where you're coming from, bro. What I want to go over is, do not let the internet fool you. Do not be that person, bro. Don't be the person who listen to the internet, listen to what they have to say. And when I say internet, I'm not necessarily talking about YouTube, because I'm a firm believer that YouTube can take you places, right? I always say, people ask me, teach them how to trade, teach them how to cut hair, teach them, like, bro, look, listen, hey, YouTube University, simple as that. All right, I'm not the person to go to YouTube. You feel me? I can recommend you a couple pages, but don't think I'm gonna be the person to teach you. You feel me? Because we got to start from the very bottom, the terminology. You feel me? A lot of people ain't willing to do that, and I'm not gonna be the person who have the patience to teach you the terminology. Anyways, once again, I think the internet that you should just completely ignore is Facebook. Facebook. All right, Facebook is full of nothing but men that need to be humbled in a very manly job, right? Landscaping. It is frustrating being the person who we all once was. We just needed to learn a couple of things, and we learned a lot of stuff from failure, right? When I always say that the best way to learn is from another person's mistakes, right? We all make our mistakes. We've all failed, and hopefully you've learned from it. But it's best that you don't have to go through this because you've seen somebody else go through it and you learn from their mistakes, right? But if you are in a landscaping field, it's a good chance that it took for you to learn it yourself. All right. I say that to say, we all had to start from rock bottom, dead rock bottom. Like, we didn't really know what exactly to charge. How much of a profit is this, right? We tried to, we tried to make sense out of, okay, this yard is this big, or it should take this long. Okay, you gotta include gas. Okay, I mean, they down the block. That's my neighbor, right? I'll cut their grass for free. That is my neighbor, right? Right? It's a lot of people on Facebook who would say they cut their grass for free. Then you got the people on Facebook who would say, I wouldn't even start my mower for free. I don't care if they live 5 feet away from me. And don't get me wrong, that's up to you if you're gonna be that generous person, right? I mean, y'all lines are literally connecting. It's all one. I mean, are you okay with cutting your neighbor's grass? But I mean, personally, me, I would be okay with it. The front yard, definitely. You feel me? But if it's a backyard and that backyard is probably being separated by a gate, now, I mean, front yard too. If it's a gate or something, no, you on your own. You got to pay me. You feel me? But people on Facebook, it's just hard to be on Facebook and just take note or notice that it's, like I say, full of men who just for some reason can't humble themselves, right? And that's whether, like for example, you in a Facebook chat, entrepreneurs or any group, yeah, any group involving cutting grass maintenance or something like that. And let's just say you that person, or you see somebody post, how much should I charge for such and such, right? They specifically ask that question. How much should I charge? I told them $30 and I feel like I lowball myself. Then here come all of the men saying, "Oh, you're a dummy. You stupid. Why would you charge that low?" It's people like you who is y'all. You are the reason that the industry is the way it is. Listen, bro. Answer the man's question. He asked how much because he don't want to lowball himself, and he made that clear. So be the person who explains to him, this is how you charge. You feel me? It should, how large is it? Okay, it's a couple square feet, a couple hundred square feet. That should take you 10 minutes to do. You want to get paid such and such per hour. Divide that by how much gas you got to use. Okay, perfect. This is how much you should charge for this. right? That is how you, the other day I saw a dude post in one of the Chicago groups at saying that he had a flat rate for tree limb removal, $150. One post said 150, the next post said 200. Of course, you had all the people in the comments saying, "Bro, delete this. You dumb. Who out the bam?" I was the person to comment and explain to him. Right? People say that type of stuff without explaining why. I was the person to comment and tell him, "Bro, even your customers understand that tree limb removal is, I mean, not tree limb removal, but the dump fee alone is $150. Your customers understand that. Whether they know that you taking these branches somewhere else, you're not really paying that fee or not. Little do they know you are, right? For all they know, you are taking it to the dump, and that dump fee alone is $150. So your starting rate being $150 makes no sense. So I tell him twice the price, up this price to a minimum of $300, because again, they understand that the dump fee alone is $150. So I broke that down to him. And he said, "You know what, bro? You right." His very next post, "My minimum for tree limb removal is $300." Even though that's still, well, it was tree limb removal. It didn't necessarily say tree removal. So if that is how you do it, you gotta make it make sense to people. Don't be the person, like I say, the internet is just full of people who will try to fool you and clown you because you don't necessarily know the answer to everything. I always say, bro, if you come across a person and every single question you ask them or something like that, you purposely ask an idiotic question to see how they answer it. If they always have the answer to something, you can't trust that person, because that's a person who failed to acknowledge that they don't know everything. Me being a Christian, if you come to me and you ask me how old was Jesus when he died, right? I mean, well, to be honest with you, bro, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say 32 or 36. I can't get. I look, honestly, I don't know, right? If you ask me why does science say one thing and religion say another thing? You feel me? Why does the Bible say this and then another verse it contradicts it? You know what? To be honest with you, bro, I honestly can't give you the answer to that. I can't give you the answer respectfully. Like, I can try to help you understand why I believe the Bible still, but I really can't give you an answer to it. I understand what you see. It does contradict it, right? It does say it does say this and then it say that, right? I understand that, but I can't give you an answer as to why, you know. So you got, like, that's the type of person I will respect more. You feel me? And I'm saying this because right now, like I say, Illinois is leading the nation in tornadoes right now, and I've been receiving so many calls and texts and inboxes asking how much, how much, how much. So this one lady sent me a picture of, it was a big tree, right? It was definitely a big tree. I looked at it and I told myself, okay, I don't necessarily want to overestimate it and say 4,000, but then again, I definitely don't want to underestimate it. And once I get done, or while I'm doing it, I'm gonna be like, damn, bro, this is definitely worth way more than this. I'm tired, I'm sweating. You feel my legs hurt, my arms hurt. I don't want to be that person. So I say, you know what? Okay, 4,000. I won't do 4,000. Last time I told the lady 3,600, and her response was, "Dang, for a down tree, you want 3,600, right?" So I say, you know what? 3,000 sound decent. I'm gonna tell her 2,900. You feel me? And I am willing to negotiate the price because I'm fine with even 2,500. This is probably a $500 job. This is probably, what did I just say? This is probably a 5-hour job. I'm perfectly fine. 2,500 sound good to me. So I told her 2,900. She said, "Okay, let's do it. When can you get started?" Boom. That's how I do it. Because the numbers sound good. Mind you, I professionalize in line maintenance and things like side installation. Side installation is where you can come to me and ask for the formula, and I will give you my formula that to me is perfect. It comes out perfect. I can give you that formula. I asked I asked the group on Facebook how should I charge this? I told them the scenario. I told the lady that it'll be $2,900. But I told them I don't want to be the person that I don't want to be the $20 guy in this service, right? I don't want to be what the $20 guy is in cutting grass to the tree removal service. I don't want to be that man. Tell me, how do y'all price? When they get the commenting, it's a lot of dudes that want to clown me. Come on, bro. It's people like you who I'm about to read. I'm about to read a verbatim. I'm about to read a verbatim. So I say I quoted $2,900. They agreed to start today, but my employee didn't answer his phone all day. But I have one chainsaw, presumably a 5. Why do I keep saying 500? Presumably a 5-hour job. $800 towards employees, and the dump fee is $360. Help me on how to actually give estimates on downed tree removal. Illinois is leading the nation in tornadoes, so I need to get these numbers right, and I don't want to be the $20 guy, as we call it in the mowing business, right? I don't want to be the $20 guy, as they call it in the mowing business. And then you got people in the comments saying things like, if you don't know how to build a job, stay home. Another comment saying, stay in your lane. Another comment saying, that's beer money. Another comment saying, please, Lord, if you're up there, let this be a joke. I cannot be competing against people like this retard. You feel me? Like, please let this be a joke. Please let this be satire. Stay in your lane. Like, bro, then you got the man who's saying this would be a $15,000 job. Another person saying this would be an $18,000 job, right? So it just leave your mind, you feel me, in a frenzy. Like, how do I charge? But I don't. Y'all not telling me. Not one comment told me how to actually charge. And that was the root of the question of the post. How do I charge? Because I don't want to be the low baller, right? But nobody is yet to answer. Everybody want to clown. I did have one person who gave, you feel me, this motivational post saying, that looks pretty fair to me. I mean, $2,900 is a solid price. Where I'm located, but everyone's prices is different because of their location. But heck, depending on how your company size is, 1840, a $1,840 profit isn't a bad day. Don't get me wrong. There is companies charging $10,000 a day, but that's very far and very few, mostly in high ticket areas. But if you are a smaller company and you're not in a big city, $1,800 a day is good profit money, and that's great. Don't let the internet fool you. But hard to tell from the picture. Could be a hell of a job in person, right? I understand that, and I'm glad that he commented this, because that's the purpose of this post. Don't let the internet fool you. You got one person saying they charging $18,000, and then you got everybody else clowning you for charging $3,000. Like, how much? Look, y'all. Look, come on. You feel me? In the landscaping industry, when you ask how much should you charge for a yard like this, for $30, $40, or let's say it's an acre, right? Somebody take a picture and post it in the group and be like, should I charge $60, $70 for this? Everybody in that group will clown them, and nobody will break down that an acre alone is $100 minimum, and this is why. Nobody would do that, right? I remember one time I posted in a group how I before I got into sod installation, which I highly recommend. It's only 3 steps, bro. The fact that my formula includes the side rows alone being twice the price, that just shows that side is profitable. But anyways, so I posted how I had did a lady's backyard aside, and I want to say I probably charged $400 or $500, and I think that was my very first side job. So I posted that it was only $400 or $500. So how this job went was, I instead of me buying a yard of topsoil, I didn't know that it was gonna take an entire yard. I went to Home Depot and I had grabbed like 5, maybe 10 bags of topsoil. And this probably was a 500 square feet yard. I thought that those 5 to 10 bags would be enough to level out, but that didn't do anything whatsoever. I put the sod on top, and it died. You feel me? A year later, and mind you, Probably a couple months later, the lady told me that she understood. Like, I understand it was only $500. I expected that, right? She said I expected that. A year later, she messaged me back, told me, okay, like she want to get it done. She want to get the side replaced, and she want to lay more side. Perfect. By this time, I had did numerous side jobs that turned out perfect. I've literally went back to revisit those side jobs a year later to look, and it looked like it's not side at all because these people, it was laid correctly, and these people maintained it properly. So the lady called me back, asked me how much will it be now, and it was almost like 75% of the price. Like, it went from like 500 to 900 or something like that. And I posted that in the group chat, and the comments let me down. The comments was like, "Oh, you're a jackass. You're an asshole for charging her. You made a mistake the first time. You're gonna charge her even more." And I'm like, bro, how do you please these people on the internet? I would think that these people will actually compliment me and say, "Well done." See, that was me looking for validation, and that's why I went wrong. Looking for validation from people on the internet, from veterans, from people who've been doing this for 10, 15 years. That was my fault. Thinking that I will post this looking for flowers, and I get the exact opposite of that, which is why I always say I will always give myself my flowers. I give myself my flowers. I don't need anybody else to give me my flowers. But the fact that I posted that seeking validation and I got the opposite return, it it did something to me. Like I say, looking at the comments and all of them saying, "Why would you do this? If anything, you should have done this. You should have did this for free." Like, bro, I be looking at all these other posts and y'all be saying that y'all will never do something for free. Y'all will literally say if y'all did something wrong, and the person who called you can't call to complain and say that you missed a spot, can you come back and do it? Y'all will literally say, "I'm not going back if you pay me. If you don't pay me. If I come back, you have to pay me." Like, what is, I'm confused. Y'all got my head in the loop in these groups. You know, so I mean, that's what I got to say. Don't seek validation from these people. I will say, just look it up on YouTube on how to charge, and make it make sense, right? Don't be the person. Understand that you shouldn't be charging $20 for a yard. You shouldn't. Another thing, you shouldn't have a set price, a set rate for anything whatsoever. You should not, for bushes, for cutting grass, for edging. You should not have a flat rate. You should not have a flat rate. Don't go. You go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and figure it out. Ask ChatGPT. Ask Claude. Ask Gemini. We got AI now, right? Everything is in our hands. Don't go to these groups on Facebook to ask them certain things, because you're gonna get a mixed response. You feel me? And I noticed that even when people ask in the groups, what lawnmower would you suggest? Toro, Exmark, or right? Then you got the people in the comments saying Skag is the best mower, go with Skag. Oh man, my Husqvarna is yet to disappoint me. Man, get a John Deere. John Deere's last forever. Bobcat, go with Bobcat. Get a Bradley. Like, not one person said Exmark. Not one person said Toro. Not one person said right. Now the person who commented this, is like, it's a reason you commented, because the dealers around you only have Exmark, Turo, and right. You don't have any Bobcats around. You don't have any John Deere's. You don't have any Skags, but yet everybody want to comment these mowers. Everybody in the landscaping business know that we pick these mowers based on dealer support. But y'all are saying get a Bobcat, get a Toro, get a Skag, get a John Deere. Woo, woo, woo. Bro, come on, answer the question. From what you know, if you've ever demoed a Toro, if you've ever had a right mower, look, man, just tell me what the best out of the three is. Just tell me the best out of the three. What's the most reliable with these engines, with the decks, with the frame and everything? Which makes most sense, y'all? But they not gonna answer that. They gonna tell you a dumbass if you go with right. You a goofy if you go with Toro. or something like that. They not gonna answer your question. So don't go to these groups. Don't let the internet fool you, bro. Do not let the and this is really for the newbies, right? I've been in this business for 5 years and I'm still learning. As you see, I posted in a tree trimming group. How much should I not how much should I charge, but how do I price? And I didn't get an answer. I literally got 52 responses. Nobody answered how to price. I can tell you my formula for side. I can tell you how I charge for mulch. I can tell you how I charge for line maintenance. I can tell you all of that. How to build a retaining wall or set up a retaining wall. I can tell you all of that if you was to ask. But for some reason, you got these dudes who've been doing this for 15 years, who've been doing this for 20 years, who for some reason they just feel like they came out of the womb with the formula in hand. This is how I do this. This is how to do this. This is how to do that. It's those type of people on the internet, bro, and it will not do you any justice to go to the internet. And again, the internet being Facebook, because that's where a lot of landscaping support is. It will not do you any justice if you go to the internet asking questions on how to better your job or your business. So yeah, that's what I got to say about the internet and how much of a disservice it could be. Because yeah, I will say, the pros to it is you do have those people who will actually help you understand, like me. You feel me? I helped explain to that man why that $150 should be out of the question. I explained it to him, and his very next post was that he's charging the minimum of $300. You have people like me, right? But the thing is more dudes out here who rather bash you than build you. So I'm gonna end it on that note. I'm actually getting ready to go to sleep. Got a lot of work to do tomorrow. This weather is pushing things back, bro. So let me get ready to go to sleep, y'all. Good night.